Hello, so this week's gonna be a little different because I am not in Florida. I have strayed away from the hive. Actually, I'm at my former hive. I'm in the DC metro area. I came back to pick up some stuff that I left here when I moved. I left in storage, and it's just getting out of hand, the amount I'm paying to store just a bunch of junk, basically. So, I figured I'd make this video while I'm here about maybe the 5 things that I miss the most about from when I lived up here.
They'll ship me out on a boat off the coast, on a bus to Mexico, sticking umbrella in my glass.
And at number 5, I would put the food at my favorite Thai restaurant, Tara Thai. They have so much good stuff there, but my favorite is the Bangkok street noodles. I don't think I've had this dish at any other Thai restaurant anywhere, and maybe something close to it in Thailand itself, but nowhere else.
We've got the sen yai noodles, like the kind you have in a drunken noodle or in a pad see ew. Just a whole bunch of yummy stuff in there, including egg and everything. Absolutely delicious, and that's one of the things I miss most about, at least as far as my favorite dish from the DC area. I have to come back and have it. So if I had to describe it, maybe I'd say it would be like what you get if you took a clay pot and some sen yai noodles and like everything else good that I love about Thai food, and dump it into one bowl and mix it up, and it's just pure Thai deliciousness. And for number 4, I didn't even have to leave the same parking lot. I'm on my way to Whole Foods here, and it's I don't know how you describe it. It's different than like the Publix or Winn-Dixie that we have down in Florida. And what I like about it most that's different is, the selection of different types of cheeses and wines and things like that. So it's sort of a hybrid between, maybe what you'd have at some of the mom and pop markets down in Florida, which do have this kind of stuff, and maybe like a Winn-Dixie, because they also have all the other stuff. So I guess it's just more focused on variety and health food type of stuff, but it's not just a health food store, it's a regular supermarket too. And I do hope they come down to Florida. I think there might be 1 or 2, but it's not near where I live. For example, in the brie-like cheese department, it's not just President's Brie or take it or leave it here. You look at all the choices that you have, and some of this stuff is so good. This one here, the Cypress Grove stuff, you can get that at the Green Turtle Market up in near Titusville, but it's hard to find in Florida. This stuff is really good too. I like the French aged stinky cheeses myself. And again, you can get a lot of this stuff at specialty shops in Florida, but not in the supermarket really. Number three on the list of things I miss in the DC area, and this one is scooter life. When I was living here, I took one of these things almost every morning, either to the office or part way. If I was running late, I might switch to the metro or something like that. These things are so fun to get around on and get a little exercise in the morning. And one of the places I'd always scoot to on my lunch breaks is the Poke Papa Hawaiian restaurant. So that's where I'm going today. Almost there, last block. There we go. Successful scoot to the Poke Papa. And thanks to my Aunt Barbara who got me a gift card for here that I'm gonna use, get my favorite, the Volcano.
So are you driving from there to here or?
No, I flew. What's that? Oh yeah. Seafood salad, seaweed salad, the fruits, the pineapple and the mango if you got it, cilantro, and extra jalapeno. Look at this delicious concoction here. The Poke Papa. So a lot of restaurants in Florida, of course, have poke bowls and all different kinds. You know, I like the ones with the sesame seed too, but this one here, this is the first place I ever had a poke bowl, and it's in Chinatown area of Washington, D.C. And they just have everything good in here, everything I like. And they put extra jalapenos on it for me, and they've got this lava sauce and the black rice. Digging under here for you so you can see the black rice. Look at that. Yum, yum. Well, that was delicious, and I got one to go to. Let's put it on my handlebars here. I'm gonna go scoot around to some more of my favorite places and maybe meet up with some friends. All right, so I scooted to the Roadside Grill in Arlington, where I'm gonna meet up with Tito Juan and Gino. Some water after our long day of scooting. And the number two thing I miss in the DC area that they don't have in Florida, no, not rainbows, although that's a pretty cool one behind me. It's mountains. And here are some nice mountains on the dashboard cam here. These are the Blue Ridge Mountains that are just outside of the DC metro area, but you know, a very short day trip. And that's all part of Shenandoah National Park, which is where I'm headed right now. So I am from Northwest New Jersey originally, and I grew up on Pochuck Mountain. I lived from when I was 3 years old until I went away to college. And you know, every day I would play in the woods and things like that. And when I moved down to the DC area after college and after law school, I guess, I would you know, take frequent trips to the mountains here in Virginia. Remind me a little bit of home. And so today we're going to do a couple short hikes. It's getting late in the day and weather ain't so hot, but still we're going to see some really nice scenery, I know, here in Shenandoah National Park that we're only a few miles away from now. It's 7:15, so we got another good hour of daylight at least. Let's see if we could at least see my favorite tree. I have a favorite tree. That is my favorite tree. I think it's a hemlock. But just look at these mountains. Get my favorite tree selfie here. My ears just popped. I think that's the first time my ears popped in a year. So my favorite tree was at Jeremy's Run overlook, which faces west. And this is Little Devil's Stairs overlook, which faces east. And you can see at this time of day just totally different colors, different shades in the mountains that you see on the western side. And this is the Appalachian Trail. And you can tell from the famous white markings on the trees there. Backcountry, leave no trace. Pets must be on a leash at all times. Permit required for overnight camping. This is Appalachian backcountry on the Appalachian Trail. And unlike I say on most of the Florida hikes, this is not a flat trail. This is a moderate trail, I'd say. At least here. Some parts are actually very difficult. This trail goes from Georgia to Maine. We are in Virginia. And I'm almost at my destination here. Little Hogback Peak. Now that's a hike. That's a destination, isn't it? Here we are. Little Hogback Peak. Plenty of time for sunset. So the
5 things I miss the most about living in DC area. Number 5 was going to my favorite restaurants like the Taratai. And number 4 was being able to get a lot of specialty foods at Whole Foods and places like that relatively easy. Number 3 was riding the scooters, scooting lifestyle, scooter die, scooting around to all my favorite places and visiting friends. Number 2, the mountains. What's number 1 gonna be? And the number 1 thing that I miss about living in the DC metro area are the weekend trips that we take out to Northern Virginia wine country. And this is Creek's Edge Winery, which is my favorite winery in the DC metro area. And Titowan got me a gift card. So thank you, Titowan. Let's go in. And I'm really almost incapable of going anywhere without crashing a wedding party. So one of the reasons I really like this particular winery is I like the heavy red wines. I really like things like Petit Verdot, and they do an excellent job of that here. So they've got a flight for $18 of red wines, and I think that's what I'm going to do to start out here and just have a sample of some of the more recent wines, since I haven't been here in like a year. But this place is year after year puts out delicious red wines. And I'm really happy to see here that on the red flight they do have a Petit Verdot Reserve. And looking over at the menu over there, that must be the 2017 Petit Verdot Reserve. Okay, and my red flight has arrived. We got 4 mini carafes here. And let's see, starting at the left, we've got the 2018 Creek Bed Red, which is interesting. 2018 was not really the best year here for wine in this region, but that may be an understatement. But let's see what they did with that. 2017 Foothills Red, Petit Verdot, which I'm really looking forward to, and a Bourbon Barrel Blend. Let's start with the 2018. And usually they give you, the lighter side to heavy, in that order. And I'm assuming that it's light because of the issues that they had with the grapes in 2018 here in Virginia. But let's see. It's light. And it says it's Cab Franc Nebbiolo, which a couple of the wineries have out here. Not my favorite grape. Chambourcin, Merlot, and Cab Sauv. I mean, they're leading with the Cab Franc in the description, and it doesn't have a heavy Cab Franc taste to it. So it's a good red wine, but it's on the lighter side. It wouldn't be my pick. So next up is the Foothills Red, medium-bodied blend of Merlot and Petit Verdot, and equal parts Cab Franc and Cab Sauv. So I like when they add the Petit Verdot in with the Merlot, and that's one of the allowed wines that you can mix into a Bordeaux as well. It gives it a little more heaviness because Merlot generally is medium-bodied, and you add the Petit Verdot, it gives it a little darker color and a darker, heavier taste as well. So I've got some high hopes for this. Well, it's got that, Merlot flip that you get at the back of your tongue, almost your throat, where you can feel the Merlot. You can tell that grape. It's like its signature, what it does in your mouth. So it's unmistakably a Merlot, and it is a little darker for Merlot. Very good. I know it's not the customary way to do a tasting, but I got a little salad going on here too. I'm hungry. And I'm still on the Foothills Red, because they give you quite a bit in the flight. It's a little more than a regular tasting, and it's really like a right bank Bordeaux is what it is. I mean, that's the style of wine anyway, and it's well executed.
they're having as much fun as I am over there at the wedding party. All right, the moment I've been waiting for. I'm gonna try the Petit Verdot, and that's a individual grape that my favorite grape probably as far as wines go. My favorite grape, 2017 was a good year. This place really knows how to make red wines. And that is some delicious wine. That is really good. I gotta get some of that salad dressing off my palate so I could really appreciate it as much, but top notch, world class. So I've switched over to bread to accompany my wine tasting here. So, every weekend I used to go out. Usually on Sundays after I hit the Thai restaurant, I would go out to wine country and visit, 2 or 3 wineries. I'd usually go to maybe one that I'd been to before, maybe the previous year, and then maybe 2 new ones that I hadn't been to. And I would write them up and review the wines and things like that for a wine club that I was in. So I do really miss doing that. And I do miss, all the high-quality wine that comes out of here. I mean, it's Virginia is Northern Virginia especially is a really underrated wine region in my opinion. They've got some really good stuff and they got some really talented people out here. But enough talking. I think I'm ready to try the bourbon barrel blend. We'll see what that's like. Oh, that's sweet. And you could really also taste the Chambourcin. It's the Chambourcin's got kind of a unique tart taste for the grape. And it's not a dessert wine, but this is a sweet red. I feel like sweet reds, might be for you. But I like the Petit Verdot, and I like that Right Bank Verdot there. Number 2 and number 3 in the flight were really good, especially number 3, of course. Although I'm a little biased because that's my favorite grape. So, all right. Looking at the description on this one, though, see anything weird here? I do. They've got Chardonnay mixed in this red blend. If I'm not mistaken, mixing Chardonnay in a red blend is still one of the few crimes in France for which you can be beheaded. I'm not going to dog them though. I mean, I'm sure it was this was a strategy to salvage some of the 2018 grapes because the weather issues that year is too moist. So, that considered. Last one here before I say goodbye, and it's the 2017 Chardonnay. That's good. It's crisp for a Chardonnay. Because I don't like the overly oaked type that smells like popcorn, and this is not that at all. This is a nice Chardonnay, and this is the view from the Creek's Edge Winery. It's nice to sit out here in the summer. Tables, view of the forest. Take a walk if you want. Well, I'll see you next week, and I'll be back in Florida. My flight goes out tomorrow. I take day trips just about every weekend. I'm based out of Central Florida, so most of my videos will be set in that part of the world. If you're interested in things to do in Florida, or if you just want to come along for the ride, you can hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions or any suggestions for future trips, please leave them in the comments. Thank you for watching.